I was like.
Let's listen to some podcasts while we do shit.
Just so real to me sometimes.
To minimize the amount of time you're online.
Yeah.
This is, as things get squirrelier and squirrelier, check in every now and then, but don't allow yourself to be looking at that goddamn thing all day.
Yeah.
Because that's part of what's wrong with us, is we're staring at these goddamn things all day and they're just hypnotizing us with bullshit. Just, at the end of the day, you're confused, aimless, you go to sleep, you feel depressed, you wake up in the morning, you
45 out of 70.
What is life?
Yeah.
You go back to bed, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Those things do that. You take away those things and life is pretty normal.
Yeah.
They are amplifiers of anxiety.
Oh, that's for sure.
For sure.
Well, it's even like they had that, like, a lot of these shooters, like people that have, like, you know, these young guys who become, what's it called when you see stuff online and it makes you more radicalized, right? How are some of these companies not legally liable? Like, if you go to a restaurant, right? And somebody poisons you, you could take something up with that restaurant.
Right.
They poison a bunch of people, be able to sue the restaurant or have some recourse against that restaurant, the food establishment. But these entities, like these social media places, like if they radicalize someone and they go shoot somebody or something, there's no like accountability for the company. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the company's not radicalizing people, and I think it's a real danger what you're saying, because you know what what you're saying is you're opening the door to censorship. You're opening the door to the government saying we're here to protect you, so you can't talk about certain things, because these things can radicalize you. Because anybody's definition of what radicalizes people is it's very variable, right? Like during COVID, I could have been considered someone who radicalizes people against taking a COVID vaccine. I could have been seen as a science denier and a dangerous person that has to be silenced. You have to remove them from public discourse. So what you're saying by like people getting radicalized, who? That's the problem. Like who's getting radicalized and who's doing it? And what is the real reason why you're getting radicalized?
Okay,
well, because you don't know who the fuck you are.
So you can be getting radicalized for the better or for the worse too.
For sure.
So you're just really getting educated, really.
Look, there's people that get radicalized towards, you know, radical ideas of fitness and will and discipline.
That's a good point.
You know, paying attention to Jocko every morning. You get what is radicalized. You could be you could be into radical kindness. You know, you get radicalized, just be kind to people.
Yeah.
It's all dependent upon what are you talking about and who's doing it. So why would the social media platform be in trouble for doing nothing other than giving people a voice?
But the algorithm, is there an algorithm that at a certain
That's
point
where it gets weird.
So
the
I think
algorithm
that's more
gets
what I
weird.
mean then. Is the algorithm, isn't there some liability to an algorithm? Like
No,
a certain...
but here's the problem. The algorithm amplifies what you like. So you have to decide what you're looking at.
Right.
You have to have some personal responsibility, because most of my algorithm, particularly on YouTube, is all just stuff I like. It's all fun stuff. It's all interesting. It's all ancient history stuff. You know, cool cars that people are building. That's it.
Yeah.
That's most of it. Fights, pool matches, professional pool matches, a lot of Muay Thai. And that's all stuff I'm into. It's nothing is... So, like, why is your algorithm fucked up? Because that's the stuff you're clicking on all the time. And a lot of things... I don't know if you do it on Instagram. Can you do it like I don't like posts like this, where you right-click on things?
Yeah, I think you can. But you and
I know
I
you can do it on Google Newsfeed.
You
like
and I
I'm
always
not this thing.
like if it's a young person, is there any more? Should there be anything? Like I agree, there is a level. It's always personal responsibility, and I think we're probably in a space where more than ever, personal responsibility is going to start to thin the herd, because it's like who can have like control over their own wherewithal, and what they absorb.
Well, we have to learn from other people's mistakes, right? And we kind of are better at that. We're better at that as a society than, say, when society, with alcohol, for instance, than a society where alcohol gets introduced into that society where they don't have a history of alcohol. Generally speaking, that destroys civilization.
You mean if a place does, like when they gave
Like
alcohol to
Native
those people?
Americans.
Hitster is the ultimate party game where players guess the release order of hit songs by listening to short clips. Check out Hitster. Get yours today at Walmart.
Good news. The market's swinging back to buyers, which means that dream home won't be there forever. Don't let someone else beat you to it. Start your search today. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Americans. Like the Native Americans. It's a perfect example. Native Americans had no history of alcohol use. United States troops came through, did two things. One, killed 90% of them with disease. So 90% of the Native Americans died from disease because they were exposed to smallpox and all sorts of horrible shit that the Europeans carried over with them. So 90% of them died from that. And then they got pushed into reservations. They got slaughtered by people with guns, and they lost all their land. And then also they get introduced to alcohol. So everything gets super depressing, and you get introduced to alcohol, and that is devastating to a society. And to this day, reservations have very high rates of alcohol and drug abuse. Very high rates on Native American reservations.
Oh, yeah.
But
they're really drinking over there.
But if you look at us, like regular people, like we were talking about alcohol today, right? We were talking about, I barely drink anymore. I'll have a drink every now and then, and I had one recently. But that's it. Like, I know how to do that. I come from a culture of people who drank. It's common. People drink wine with dinner. It's common. It's normal. You can figure out how to regulate it, for the most part. But there's people who won't, right?
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as when no one knows what to do because you've never had it before. And then once you get it, you're fucked. That's the problem also with censorship. That's the problem with, like, social media. Like, we're the first people to get it. So we're, like, basically the Native Americans of social media. Like, we're getting it for the first time, and it's wrecking our society. Not the same level that it did in Native Americans. It also carries a lot of positives. It does let you distribute information. You learn about things. There's a lot of positives that come with social media. But also, we're the first people that don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
The grandchildren and great-grandchildren of us, they will have a much better understanding of what not to do, what to do. Oh, I have an uncle who is an addict.
Yeah.
He's a Twitter addict.
Yeah.
He's a real problem. All he does is yell about politics. He's on his phone 16 hours a day. He doesn't pay attention to his life. He's losing his job because he's a Twitter addict. There's people like that, just like there's people that are drug addicts. But these are the first ones.
Got it. I hadn't thought about it like that.
Yeah, we got to learn how to regulate. And I think people are going to learn, like a lot of kids are using apps now that limit the amount of time they're on their social media for like 1 hour a day. And
Are they? You think a lot of these kids?
A lot of kids are doing that. Kids that want a better life.
Yes.
Kids that recognize that you can waste time, and when you waste time over long, like junior high school into high school, you really start realizing it, and you see the difference between people who don't waste time and really get after it and get things done, and then you see the people that are falling by the wayside. And that's a pattern that establishes when you're a teenager, pretty much for the whole rest of your life. I knew people that were kind of ne'er-do-wells in high school that really never got into anything, and they never tried hard at anything, and they stayed like that.
Yeah, I think it's hard to make a change in your life.
Very hard. Very hard to make a change in how you see life.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to change your life unless you change the way you see life.
Yeah. Do you let me think about something else. Sorry. My brain sometimes gets hard to keep going. How are the fights, man? You get fun?
Yeah, it's always fun. Madison Square Garden's crazy. There's a few buildings in this world that have like a tangible feel when you're in them. Like, whoa, this is the Garden, bro. I've been there a ton of times. I performed there. It doesn't matter. Every time I go there, when I walk into that building, I'm like, whoa, we're at the fucking Garden.
Yeah.
You gotta be on your P's and Q's, son. Gotta be ready to go.
That's
awesome. The Garden. I think fighters feel it too. I think they get extra amped to fight in the Garden.
Yeah, Dustin said that he went to watch the fights. Was there a lot of was Anik there?
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch.
Yeah, Anik, DC, and me.
Let's go.
And Megan was there too. Megan
Levy?
Yep.
Oh, she's the best.
She's the best.
She's how great is she?
Her and her husband. They're both
Joe?
Salt of the earth.
The best.
The best.
Their whole. I will say this. They have one of the best staffs of any sporting group I've ever been around in my life.
For sure. Yeah, the UFC staff is very much like a family.
Amber, Nicole,
we all know each other so well. We've hung out together so long. Like, everybody's all hugging everybody backstage. It's a beautiful place to work.
Fun. And Bruce is doing his stretches. There's so many little things going on.
Yeah.
And you just get to see them all happen. And it's always the same people, And
we travel around the world together. Well, I don't anymore, but I used to travel with those guys around the world. And they, they'll go from here, and now they're going to Qatar this
I was going to go.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a long-ass flight, son.
I know. I went over there.
They're going to make you put on the outfit.
I put on the outfit already once.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
You thinking maybe I could live here if I get in trouble?
I thought they were gonna take my life and not let me come back. To be honest. Not them, but you just never know in the Middle East what's going on, you know.
Yeah. What does that outfit mean?
It's called a throbe. I can see a picture of me in it.
Yeah, I've seen it. They use it to attack you for stuff online.
Oh yeah, like
It's like you're in the pocket. Those
type
people.
shit. Boy, look at that shit.
Bro, it looks good. I like how theirs has a collar. It's a little more modern.
I think you have to put the head thing on, like if you're like listening to music.
It'll be a real problem if you're grappling with that thing, though. Limit your hip movement. People can control you a little bit better.
Well, hopefully the person you're grappling with is also wearing it.
That's true, but you know you're slowing down the game.
Yeah, you're right.
You're wearing a bathrobe. You're not wearing a gi. You're wearing an ankle-length bathrobe.
Yeah, I was gonna go.
It's gonna get in the way.
I was gonna go. I was kind of, but yeah.
Did you like going over there? What was your experience?
Yeah, man, I liked it. I mean, obviously they treat you a little bit different because, you know,
You're not gay.
There's a new player set elimination technology today. And that's zero trace but wild game innovations.
Okay.
yeah.
That.
Thank you for saying that. And just so we got that out there. And I am looking for love. I did meet somebody that I thought was kind of cool, but who knows? You know.
How did Jewish people feel like going over there?
I'm sure that they're probably. I mean, I feel like they're all kind of in cahoots over there. You don't really know what's going on. Qatar's a Muslim country.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if I was traveling around the world right now, I'd be like, "Rrr."
Do I stop in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to fly into Sweden instead. You know.
I guess. I don't know. Did Qatar? Did any of those countries help with Palestine? I don't know. It was hard to know what was going on.
Well, I think there was talk of. Do you say Qatar or Qatar?
You're right, Qatar.
Yeah, Qatar.
Qatar.
Yeah. There was talk in the beginning of them helping to rebuild. You know, but this was like when Trump said the wildest shit of all time, that we're going to take over. We're gonna turn it into what did he say? The Mediterranean or the Middle East? What the fuck are you saying? That was one of those things that made people go, wait, is he really crazy?
Right, what's going on?
How are we gonna take over? How are you gonna take it? It's like when he was talking about Greenland. Like maybe we're gonna take Greenland. Like, hey, what? Why do they want Greenland? Let's ask Perplexity. Why is the good question? Ask Perplexity. Why is the United States interested in acquiring Greenland?
You think there's something up there?
You know what I would think?
What?
Let's imagine a world where the climate does radically shift, right? And by the way, I think human beings play a part of it. I've had a lot of these conversations with people. And I saw a video that was criticizing something today, saying how, you know, talking about how much money there is in climate change and pushing the climate change narrative, and that didn't compare to the amount of money that's in the fossil fuel, promoting fossil fuels. That is 100% true, but it doesn't discount the fact that there's a shit ton of money to be made from green energy. That's why they're promoting it. You really can't stop fossil fuel. That's the inside wink. Everything is made with oil.
Yes.
Everything. Your pharmaceuticals, all of your electronics, plastics, tires, everything is made with... You ain't stopping oil. However, this idea of reducing carbon footprint, there 100% is money in that. And there's money in the whole green energy narrative. There's money. This is why Bill Gates recently abandoned saying, he totally backtracked on what he was saying.
Oh, climate change?
Yeah, he totally backtracked on it because people were starting to investigate and looking at why are you saying this and are you making money off of this? Do you have like certain stocks that would rise and where you'd make an extraordinary amount of money if you promoted these certain narratives publicly? Yeah, that's part of what's going on. However, there was giant solar activity this week. And this is what I'm talking about.
In Greenland?
Yes. No, in America. Giant solar activity where people were seeing the northern lights in Texas.
Yes.
In fucking Texas. Okay, and a friend of mine who is, well, Brett Weinstein, I'm pretty sure I can say it's him. It's not a secret. Was telling me, like, this is like a significant, amount of solar activity. Kind of unprecedented and very dangerous. And if it gets bigger than a certain wave, which they can't really predict, like these solar flares, they don't have a clock on the sun. Like, on November 17th, it'll be 82 degrees. No, it does whatever the fuck it wants. And sometimes it does mass ejections, man. And these huge bursts
Just
And
spraying out.
And these huge bursts can wipe out satellites, wipe out telecommunication, wipe it out, and change the fucking temperature of the Earth.
Fuck, dude, what the fuck?
Go back
I
to
got
that
enough
Greenland
shit going on.
Go back to that Greenland thing, please. 'Cause we didn't get a chance to read it.
Dude,
United States is interested in acquiring Greenland for a combination of strategic, economic, and security reasons. Greenland's geographic location makes it a critical asset for U.S. defense, especially for monitoring activities in the Arctic and North Atlantic, as well as for tracking potential Russian military movements and securing early warning capabilities for missile threats. That makes sense. You know what also makes sense? If it gets green, because the Earth temperature changes.
because you're investing ahead of time.
Greenland maybe used to be green. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I would bet at some point it did.
I think they discovered Greenland, like, officially
Yeah.
in, like, I want to say the 1800s. They listed Greenland as a continent, but there's maps of Greenland, like detailed maps of Greenland from, like, the 1500s.
Do you think that do you think that it's controllable where they could start to thaw out whoever owns it all?
It's not controllable. No.
So this is
I
uncontrollable.
think this is the scariest thing about the temperature of Earth that we need to come to grips with. It is not static. It changes, and it changes all the time. And sometimes it changes in horrific ways where it turns into a fucking ice age. And if that happens, we all have to move to the equator. And that's what happens. That's what happens in human history. That's why you see these, like, super advanced civilizations that came out of South America. Like, well, they were probably the only people that were able to live, like, normally during the Ice Age. During the Ice Age, like, if you're in North America, you're a fucking caveman. You're covered in animal furs. You know, you're trudging through the snow.
You're hiding.
You're hiding. Things are hunting you. If you're living in the Amazon jungle during that same time, man, you're probably in, like think of it with the Aztecs. You know, the
How
Aztecs.
tall were they, the Aztecs overall?
Here's the thing about the Aztec ruins is what I was going to get to. They found them that way. The Aztecs that lived there, they didn't build them. They found them that way. They uncovered them in the jungle.
The ruins?
They're part of a civilization that's even older than them.
So the
they
Aztecs
talk about
found
them.
that place. They didn't build it.
They built some things,
Right.
But they found those things there. So that their great ancestors
Yeah.
were probably the ones who built it initially.
Yeah.
And if you think about the Ice Age, if there's any advanced civilizations, it's going to be in the places that aren't frozen.
Yeah.
You know. And all of North America, dude, half of North America was under at least a mile of ice.
Hold on, let me think about it. Half of North America was under at least 1 mile of ice.
Yeah, you know how it's flat in, like, a lot of Wisconsin? Wisconsin has areas called the driftless areas, and that's the areas where these giant glaciers didn't just plow over the earth. So they have hills and mountains and shit. Everything else is just flat. That flat shit, that's from 2 miles of motherfucking ice just erasing anything that was there before
Like
it.
a bulldozer.
So if there was a civilization that lived on Earth up there 20,000 years ago, bitch, you ain't finding nothing.
You ain't getting shit.
You ain't finding nothing.
You ain't getting shit.
And they were all down in South America. That's what I think.
That's why
that happened. That's why they had such advanced civilization.
And so many artifacts and stuff, because that's where it was possible.
All kinds of weird shit that they don't understand. Like
So
these
what
cities
happens?
that were in the Amazon jungle that they're discovering now.
But what happens, Joe? Say it starts to, like, things are, it starts to devolve even more. What happened? Where do we meet up? I know we've talked about this before. I think we said Denver or whatever. But it's
I
like,
think Denver's lost. I think Denver's
Okay, so
lost.
we need to have a
They
strategy.
just started bringing wolves back to Denver, these dumbasses.
well, I wouldn't mind a wolf or two, but I'm just saying, what do we do, man? That's what I'm saying. Like, if it gets weird, we have to have some plan. It's already getting weird, right?
It's getting real weird. Yeah. It's
So-
getting weird, but the reality, what I was getting to, is you can't control the Earth's temperature. You can't control the Earth's future, because there's a bunch of factors. Even if you say, okay, let's all agree on something first. Let's agree that human beings have a detrimental effect on Earth. We can all agree on that. Let's agree that human beings overfish the ocean. Let's all agree on that. Let's all agree that we pollute the air, we pollute the oceans, we pollute the rivers. All that is terrible. All that should be fixed. Let's all agree on that. Once we agree on that, That's not the greatest threat to human life. The greatest threat to human life is asteroid impacts. Well, nuclear war for sure if we do that to each other. That's number one. But after that, it's asteroid impacts. And asteroid impacts, you can't do
What is going on?
a fucking thing about them.
You could do something.
No, they're not ready yet. They can't do anything yet.
You couldn't do something. You could hide behind something. You could.
No.
You could do something.
No.
You could wear something. You could wear something.
No, okay, you're being silly.
No,
You know that you could 3-eye atlas, that one that just passed through? It's the size of Manhattan, and it's made out of metal. It's a giant chunk of nickel that's the size of Manhattan.
Okay.
And it's billions of years old, and it's going... How many thousands of miles an hour was it going? Put that in perplexity.
Where would you be then?
How fast was 3-eye atlas? It doesn't matter where you are. Everything's dead. The whole planet's dead.
Okay, because what
You have
happens?
a few...
It hits it.
You have roaches, some fucking underground mammals that survive.
But you're saying it hits the planet,
Yeah.
and then what happens? That's what I'm asking.
Everybody dies.
No.
It's miles deep into Earth in the first second. Miles deep.
But does it like impact? Like does the Earth like shift over 20 feet?
It's
Like
just
what
a
happens?
massive explosion.
Oh, you're
where
saying
this
there's an
thing-
explosion.
Not just an explosion, but it creates nuclear winter. Like the entire Earth is covered in volcanic ash. Like you're fucked. Everything's dead. Like most of the Earth is dead.
Okay.
So
Maybe I'm not understanding it. Hold on.
it seems like it. It's going approximately 155,000 miles an hour.
Oh, you didn't say
This
that.
makes the fastest interstellar object yet observed, with its velocity accelerating as it approaches the sun and then gradually slowing as it moves away. So it's 250,000 kilometers per hour. Earlier measurements as it entered the solar system recorded speeds of 130,000 to 140,000 miles an hour.
Hey.
So, it's the size of Manhattan. It's made out of nickel. Okay, let's Google this. What is the observed mass of this object?
How big is it?
What is the observed mass of 3-eye atlas? Observed mass of it. Okay, let's see what it says.
Hold up. Domino's is doing half-off pizzas right now? Let me
Donuts
just
is
open
getting
and...
skipped.
Look how quick it did that. Just Google all those articles. The observed mass is estimated to be over 33 billion tons.
Okay, hold on. Let me think about how much that is real quick.
It's a lot. 33
Billion
billion tons.
How much is 1 ton? Like
2,000 pounds.
Okay.
What else is 33 billion tons?
That's a great
here we go.
question, dude.
Very
Thank
good
you.
question, Jeremy. Look how researches. Estimated mass of 3-eye atlas, 33 billion tons, roughly equivalent to the mass of Manhattan Island, which is about 3.1 miles across, similar in size to the comet's estimated nucleus diameter. This means the comet's mass is roughly comparable to a large city in solid matter terms.
Amen.
33 billion tons.
Well, I'm going
3 to 5 orders of magnitude heavier than previous interstellar objects, like Mamu. 500, what? Far smaller than the heaviest known comets in our solar system. Look at this one. One C2014, whatever, which weighs around 500 trillion tons, with a diameter of about 128 kilometers, 80 miles.
I didn't think that it was... yeah, I think I had a different concept of it.
Yeah, so...
I had something small. I had something like that. Like something that's...
No, those hit all the time. Things like that hit all the time. And
Yeah, that's
one of
what
the
I was
best
thinking
places
about.
to find them is Antarctica. Because Antarctica's all white, so they go out there and they see things on the ground that are meteors. They
Is it
find
true they won't let us up there, or is that true? That's a myth.
No, there's places where you're not supposed to fly, but there's a bunch of reasons for that. One of them, I'm sure they're probably doing military research up there, but also, so they have restricted airspace, but also, it's really dangerous. And if you crash, they won't have to rescue you. Like, there's nothing up there. Like, you will die, you know, most likely. And they don't want to have to try to die going to get you. It's sketchy as fuck going up there.
Fuck yeah, it is, dude. I couldn't even imagine it. I mean, I'm trying to think. We used to go skiing or whatever, like in Iowa somewhere, or I think it was in Iowa. In the winter, they have like a place called Sundown, I think it was. It's fucking freezing. Like, we went to Whistler, Canada one time to go skiing. Freezing cold. I can't even imagine being at the Antarctica. How cold does it get?
Oh, it's cold as
fuck.
It's not just cold. There's no one there. Like they do these.
You
They
can't have. even tell anybody it's cold because there's nobody even there. You just.
I wonder what they're studying up there. They have scientific communities up there, where they have like groups of scientists that live up there year round, or
That's
at least
gotta
they.
be weird.
Oh, it's gotta be hell.
And do they get to bring their wives and children up there?
Don't you ever see that John Carpenter movie? The Thing? Bro, you never saw that movie?
Good.
Kirk Douglas? I mean, not Kirk Douglas.
Michael Douglas?
God damn it.
Douglas.
Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
It was
Kurt Russell.
awesome.
Great.
It was, dude, movie's incredible.
I haven't
Fun.
seen that.
Fun horror movie from like, I guess it was probably like the 80s.
The Thing.
Yeah.
That thing. Remember
There's a
that song?
comic in that movie. T.K. Carter. A dude who used to
Really?
perform at the store. Yeah. He was at the store and then he started getting big movies. And he was in The Thing.
That's wild.
John
Yeah, I remember
Carpenter's in.
him.
I remember that dude. I used to hang out with him.
That's cool.
Yeah, and The Thing was, like, at the time, like, one of the craziest special effects ever. It looks kind of corny now.
Yeah.
Because it's goofy looking, but
But maybe they'll remake it or something. Sometimes they do that.
it was about them finding, like, some spaceship in Antarctica, I believe it was. I think it was Antarctica.
I think right.
Was that where it took place? Yeah.
I think people want us to find something. I think people are looking for stuff right now. People are trying to look for something to give things a little bit more meaning to them, you know?
That's also part of the confusion, is everybody's telling you constantly that aliens are real. You're hearing it constantly, and no one's even flinching.
But if they are real, they don't give a fuck about us. That's what I'm telling you.
Why do you think that? You been listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No, not a chance. And B, no, dude. But B, dude, they're not coming here and visiting, dude.
They are. I think they are.
I believe that Earth used to be this fun place. Aliens would come and visit. It's almost like it's this cool tourist park or whatever. And the aliens would bring their kids here when they had like holidays or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like that old place you don't take your kids to anymore. It's like an old theme park that's kind of going by the wayside. And now I think aliens are taking their kids. They're traveling to other places on their
Where do you think they're going?
places we don't know because we're
Right.
still fucking here.
Like Avatar.
Huh?
Pandora.
Yeah, they're going to dope
there.
ass places. Like if they
Yeah.
pull up here and their
Ride a
kids are
dragon.
like, "You took us to fucking Earth. This place sucks dick, mom."
Like they
you know?
land in India, clogged up with water bottles. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, people washing their hair in fucking booty water or whatever. Like, get us out of
Get
here.
us outta here.
This isn't even cool. Yeah.
No, this place sucks.
Yeah.
You know what's cool in India? The old stuff.
So that's what I do believe, though.
There's a temple in India that is one of the most confusing places I've ever seen where people describe its mass and like how it's made. It was carved out of a mountain. The whole temple.
My parlay just hit on Hard Rock Bet. You withdraw yet? When he's already in my account. It was almost as fast as the valet. I mean, it is Taylor.
Got your car, boys.
The whole temple was entirely carved out of a mountain. It wasn't built. They removed the mountain and created this insane, like very symmetrical, incredibly intricate temple. It doesn't show any chisel marks on it. It's like hundreds of millions of tons of rocks have been removed. That thing. Bro, have you ever seen that?
No, I have not
Dude, I
seen
watched
that.
a whole YouTube documentary on it last night. What is it called again? Kalisa Temple. Dude, it's fucking bananas. So they think it was made, it says 6,000 years
So
ago?
it's chiseled out of rock.
8th century is what I was just reading before I...
Yeah, I thought it was like much more recent.
That's
it's like,
tough.
It's like, they think it's 2,000 years old, right? Is that what they think it is? How old do they think? Okay, 756 to 777 current era. So that's like the year 773. So it's even less than 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
So they think. I don't know how they know this, but whatever they know, whoever fucking made it,
All of it.
how? Whoever 2,000 years ago made this, fucking how? See if you can, Jamie, see if you can find a video on it where they can, they describe it or they go through it. Dude, it's nuts. The video I was watching last night on YouTube, my jaw was open. I was like, this is crazy.
Wow.
It's so detailed, and when you think about just the sheer effort of making this, and if one person fucks this up, this whole project's ruined because you're not building it. You're carving it out of the mountain. You can't recarve, and they did it perfectly. It's nuts, man. It's really, truly nuts.
You got to plan ahead with that.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah,
But how did they do it so well? I mean, how is it so beautiful? How is it so symmetrical? How did they? Who fucking asked for this to be built? How long did it take? This is nuts, man. Fuck. This whole
I don't
thing
know.
It's so impressive. It's so impressive. Almost more impressive than some of the stuff from ancient Egypt. Because it's all one piece of stone. The whole thing. Whoever these people were, man.
I believe it.
I wish they wrote books. I wish they wrote books on how they did this. And if they have the books, let them out. Look at these pillars, man. Look at this whole thing. It's all carved out of the mountain. It's bananas. Like, it's so special.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Because I'm barely grasping it. I'm trying to put myself in a position of someone who's there physically and looking at this, where I'm sure I would be blown away. I'm sure you don't have enough time in a month to really go over this place and really get a feel for it. Because it's so insane. Someone was able to do that long ago.
Well, the people used to have to, like, I think the amount of time and attention you would put into things, you didn't have a lot of other things taking your attention, probably.
Also, I think things have happened, and we forgot about those things. And I think things like asteroid impacts, things like super volcanoes, these ice ages, things have happened and destroyed civilization, and we've forgotten a lot of it, and we're relearning it, and we're refiguring it out now. That's what I think. That's how you find stuff like that. Like, that one doesn't even make sense. Like, and also, if you make that, who just left it there? Why'd you guys move? Where'd you go? Where'd you go where you just left this there? That's nuts.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of wow.
That's the Aztecs, too. There's a bunch of these structures that people just left, or they all got diseases.
Or wiped out. Yeah, I'm sure they probably got wiped out, because even if everybody leaves, and if there's a nice place, right, everybody leaves, some people would stay, like, no, we're just going to stay.
No, they got wiped out. That's how they're not there. That's
something would happen. And probably, like you're saying, by weather or something big, you know?
Maybe weather, but I think a lot of it is people traveling with a new disease. I think that killed people in giant chunks all throughout history. That's what they think happened to the Mayans. That's what also they think happened to the people that lived in the Amazon. These, like the City of Z, the Lost City of Z. Did you ever see that movie? Yeah.
With George...
Percy Richards, is that what the guy's name was? Percy Fawcett. So Percy Fawcett was this explorer that went down there. And so what happened was a group of people had said they went down to the Amazon and they found these golden cities, these spectacular civilizations.
God, I would like that.
And they went back to Europe and told everybody, and then 100 years later they returned to try to find these things. At least 100. It might have been longer, right? All this shit was gone. Everything was gone.
Why?
Because those first guys brought over the cooties. They brought over diseases. And they killed everybody. And they didn't even...
How were they spreading the diseases, though, you think?
Just being around them, man. Like, we, Europeans, I should say we...
And nobody noticed that they had something wrong with them?
They were used to it, man. They were used to being sick. They were used to those diseases. That, they had developed immunity over generations.
But if you show up with miles with a disease, right, at a certain, like, I'm going to maybe see that something could be wrong with you think, or you think it's just hidden in your path?
They probably had no fear of it. They probably had no fear of it because they had never encountered it before. But, they do believe it's possible that the Native Americans gave the Europeans syphilis.
Type shift.
Yeah, type shift.
Hitster is the ultimate party game where players guess the release order of hit songs by listening.
The European syphilis.
Type shift.
Yeah, type shift. Yeah.
That's it. That's what I say. I said type shit. That's what kids say sometimes.
Yeah, when my daughter doesn't want to swear, she says type shift.
She does? Oh, I like that. That's cool. How are your daughters doing? Good?
Great, man.
They're awesome.
My youngest one loves you.
I miss getting that. Did they go to the fight too?
No, they're gonna go to the future one though. I'll let you know.
Let me know.
They like hanging out with you. They said it's so fun.
They're fun, dude. They're so funny. It's just been funny because I just see them incrementally over the years to get to see them grow up and just like.
I was just thinking this. When did we do our first podcast together? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Was it like 10 years ago?
No way. Yeah. 8?
I would have been. Let's see. I'll look it up.
It's been a while. Yeah, man. I can't believe that we've been.
And back then,
It's all been going on this long.
yeah, I would have never imagined that you would go down this road and be really good at it, man. Like, you're real sincere with people. You ask real good questions. You know, you're very present. You know, like you're funny, but you're also trying to really understand what they're saying. That's a delicate balance. You know, be silly and be funny, but also like pay respect to whatever they're trying to say and try to figure out where they're coming from. You know?
Yeah. Well, thanks, dude. Yeah. I try to be. I think there's been a couple times where it's like, yeah, I try to be. I don't really know what I'm, like, I don't not know what I'm doing. I mean, I work hard, right? Like, I
You
work
figure
hard.
it out as you go along, right?
Yeah, and I'm still kind of figuring it out, I don't know sometimes, like, what, like, my purpose is in it, or,
You don't have to have a purpose.
you don't think? Maybe that's a trap, huh?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a trap. I
But I
think
do
you should
care.
have a direction.
I do notice I meet a lot of people and I care about what's going on in their lives.
Yeah, that's a direction. That's good.
Yeah,
that's better.
that makes me feel important. That makes me feel not important to me, but of some value, right? Like even
Yeah.
last week when we had Gary Sinise on, he was talking about his son. Like his son passed away of cancer, like within the past year, and just talking about his son, right? Like it was just nice. It was nice for us to sit there together and just talk about his son, right? Like stuff like that. Like I think it just makes me feel like, I don't know, that kind of stuff means something to me.
So, do you feel like in your regular life you're not connected enough to people that are talking to you like that? Is that it?
Man, that's kind of interesting. I think I do sometimes have a problem with connection sometimes,
So you somehow or another can be more connected publicly than you can be privately?
Dude, that's so weird you say that. I've thought about that before.
Well, I thought about that because of my friendship with you. Because, like, sometimes you tell me things on air that you don't tell me things in private. And sometimes in private, look, I love you very much. And I always try to reach out. Because the last thing you want is a friend that maybe is going through some shit, not doing well, and maybe you could have reached out and you didn't.
Yeah, for sure.
That feeling. It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
That you could have helped your friend and you didn't help your friend. But you have a hard time expressing yourself in person sometimes. Like sometimes I'd be asking, like tell me what's up. Tell me what's bothering you. Tell me, like, how do you feel? What'd you do? And there's like a thing where it's almost like a blockade where you'd rather just like ignore it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then when you're talking publicly, you like to address everything, which I find very interesting. It's like you almost feel more comfortable exposing various parts of things that you don't like about life or your life or what's bothering you about life. Publicly, you're better at doing that than you are privately with your friends.
I think that there's this thing inside me sometimes that I feel like people don't trust me one-on-one.
They don't trust you?
Or there's some trust thing. Maybe it's not me. I don't know. I'm trying to think about...
You don't trust them, maybe?
No, I don't know. I'm trying to think of... As we're talking about this, I'm trying to, like, feel it at the same time and see what I'm feeling about it,
Right.
Because it's interesting to me, because I love thinking about this kind of stuff, like...
Right.
And trying to figure out why I operate or why we operate certain ways,
Right.
Yeah, I think sometimes, I don't know, it's hard for me to maybe say what's going on sometimes. Sometimes I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I like just, if I talk with somebody, and then some of the biggest conversations I have are on podcasting now. It's like, that's when I'll talk the most. And so I'll sit there and have moments that are like, that's kind of my biggest conversations.
Well, it's kind of the only time you have real conversations, because every other time you have conversations, there's usually multiple people around, and everyone's checking their phone. And everyone's going in and out of the room, and everyone's going to take a leak, like green room conversations. They're real. It's kind of almost like a podcast in and of itself, right? But
yeah, it's fun.
But there's also people showing each other funny memes, and we're all watching videos of fucked up things that happened.
Yeah, listening to music, joking around. That's a little bit more of a bigger atmosphere.
Right, but the point is, it's like...
For 13 years, he tortured me. He's gonna pay for what he made me become.
But you don't have... The only time you or I have these kind of conversations is right where we agree with no interruptions.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but I feel like in that form, you get relaxed. And in that form, you talk about yourself, like, honestly, you're introspective and open about it, which I find very fascinating, that you don't do that privately.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It is kind of interesting. I don't know why either. I think maybe there's something where, like, I thought, like I have to, there's something inside of me that has to be of value or something. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out.
You don't want to be a burden, maybe? You don't want to annoy people talking about your problems. So here's the thing, like, when you start talking about, like, having issues in life, I was shocked. Because I've thought about all the times that I'm with you, like, Theo's always the life of the party. We're always having fun. I don't get it. Like, how could he possibly be not doing well? That don't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
I was like, everybody loves him. He's so fun to be around. You know, like, why would you not feel good? That don't make sense, you know? So then I had to listen to you talk, like, in podcasts, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, there's some ways that he talks publicly that you don't necessarily talk a lot privately. So, like, your friends sometimes don't even know if things aren't going so well.
Well, I think for some reason, whenever I started podcasting, I started to kind of have a conversation with myself for, like, sometimes the first time in my life, maybe, where I was, like, having, like, some dialogue with myself, you know?
Because you did a lot of them solo, too, right?
Yeah, probably the first 100 or something were solo or something, pretty much.
Yeah,
and so I think...
So then you're forcing yourself to do a totally new thing, which is to not just, like, go on momentum, but to actually think about something for, like, at least an hour, where you're talking and just thinking about stuff.
Yeah, and that was probably the most fun I ever had in some ways, I think. And also, it was like a learning... and then now, like, people can call in our show and they'll leave voicemails, so sometimes we'll listen to those and talk about that kind of stuff. Yeah. And that's something I want to get more into, because that's something that I, like, really care about, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why some ways are easier for me than others. I have thought about that before, though, you know?
Yeah.
I have thought about that. It's the same reason, like, even being, like, in a relationship, I remember, like when I was would get in a relationship with a woman, it was so hard for me to, like, look at them or, like, to be super close. Like, that was super hard, but it was easy for me to have a microphone and talk to people in a group. You know, like, there's some things that are just, like I just feel, like, a lot of, like, pressure, I feel like, when I was in, like, that kind of situation. Like, I think there was something about it, like, if somebody, I don't know. I think there was always a part of me, like, when I was young, like, if I looked somebody in the eyes or something, like, they weren't gonna believe me.
Really?
Does that make any sense at all? I know it's a weird thing to say, but
no, it does make sense.
There was a part of me, like,
yeah.
And I'm not trying to, like, self-pity or, like, look at, like, you know, do I seem like I'm being self-pity?
No.
Okay, good. Because I like to examine stuff, but I'm not, like, you know, being like, woe is me. I'm just trying to, like, look at it, right?
Well, you got to think, as a kid growing up, you had a lot of negative interactions with people. You know?
Yeah, well, nobody ever looked at me. Nobody ever looked at me and was like, what's going on with this kid? Or looked me in the eyes, or, like, people were busy and working and, like, just trying to keep us surviving. So I think later when I got into relationships, and you'd be right there with a woman and they'd be looking at you, it made me really nervous and scared. Because you're like, damn, these bitches are pulling up. You know, and that shit was like baby girl, chill.
You weren't used to intimate relationships.
Right, so intimacy made me super uncomfortable, right?
Well, you weren't used to trusting people.
Yeah, and probably not even used to really trusting myself. I don't think I knew who I was.
And probably not used to people being nice to you. You had to get used to, accustomed to people being nice to you.
Well, we grew up in, like, a scary place, and so I felt like I wasn't sure if people were going to be or not, you know? Right. And so I think that made it, like, pretty tough when I was young. But yeah, I don't know. Some of it, it's been an interesting experience, you know? And that's life. It's just like...
Life is an interesting experience.
Yeah.
It really, truly is. You know, but it can be awesome and it can suck. And the reason why it's awesome is because it can suck. Like, you need them all.
Yeah.
While we're human. And I think we have only so much sand left in that hourglass. Where the humans are on the way out. I know a lot of people hate it when Peter Thiel says it. Like, Peter Thiel is a terrible person. He's evil. He's terrible.
Do you think he is?
No. I think he's just telling you the truth. I think he's, you know, when they said, do you think human beings should survive? And he had, like, this long pause.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And then the interviewer was like, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Human beings are... which is not how you're supposed to do an interview. Well, at least not how I do it. I would let him talk as long as he wants. Like, I would let... If you watch my podcast I did with him, this is long-ass stammers. So he's like,
Hitster.
Hitster is the ultimate party game where players guess the release order of hit songs by listening to short clips. Check out Hitster. Get yours today at Walmart.
Who needs to go out when you have the coziest spot in town? It's Friday night, which means it's movie night with my mini-me, a ridiculous amount of candy, and bedsure blankets for the cherry on top. We have been longtime lovers of bedsure over here. We use them for all our comfort needs. They are just that. Snuggle up on the couch with your kiddo and enjoy the coziest night in.
Oh my god, I forgot his skip.
everything he does, he wants to be very careful before he answers it. So he wants to consider what he's saying. If you ask me the same question, is it important that humans survive? Okay. Is it important that Australopithecus survived? It's not. Is it important that Neanderthal survived? It's not. Currently not important. Is it important that humans stay in this form? It's not. It's not going to be. If we're going to evolve to something way better than this, how many people go, I miss the old days when you could lie and you couldn't read minds and people were a lot more rapey. No one's going to say that. No one's going to, I miss the wars. I miss stealing and credit card fraud. I miss the good old days of a rigged stock market.
When the Jets won.
Yeah. No. No one's going to say that. They're going to move on to what's next. So Peter Thiel's right. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It doesn't mean that being a person isn't important to me. Yeah, it is to me because I'm a person. But I'm also, if I step outside of being a person and I look at where this thing is going, I'm like, it's going in a different direction. It's not going in the direction of...
We thought it was.
mRNA vaccines and lying politicians. It's not. It's not going in that direction. It's going in some sort of digital god direction. And we're either going to join on fucking real quick. Like within a few years. We have, like, I think... What is it, 2026 almost? We're real close to that. I think by the time 2030 rolls around, it's a wrap.
Bet.
It's a wrap.
Do you think that money will have any value at that point or no?
I don't know what it's going to mean anymore. And the problem is going to be some people are going to be in control of assets. Some people are going to be in control of money. See, money is just... Right now, mostly, if we're not on the gold standard, what is money? If your bill doesn't represent, you could go to Fort Knox and they'll give you a brick for whatever that money, they'll give you a brick of gold that's worth that money. If that's not real, if we don't have that anymore, and if we're on some sort of digital thing, and if they can just spend money and then inflation rises and all this money that we spend on wars and all this other crazy, it's not, where does it come from? We don't have any money. We're $37 trillion in debt. They just print it up. And if they just print it up, that makes money less and less valuable. And that's what inflation's all about. And at some point in time, that's just ones and zeros. And when you have quantum computers, they're basically like digital gods. And they're in charge of all the assets and all the money of the world. And they're not human. They're not human, and they're just going to stop it all. They're going to say, no, we'll decide how much resources you get to stay alive for as long as this body lasts, because you're not breeding anyway. Our fucking population is dropping off of a cliff. Overpopulation's a real problem. It's not. We don't have the correct levels in most giant countries, like Japan.
No.
Japan is not in a restorative level. Like, they're not even close.
They're disappearing.
They have a real population collapse problem. South Korea, a real population collapse problem. Eventually, that's going to come here. That was one of the arguments that they had to keep the border open. That was one of the Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi arguments. We're not having enough kids. We need to bring people in. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
There's no way I can look at Chuck Schumer and think he's a good guy.
He looks like a great guy.
Yeah. If you asked a baby who had been here one day, pick a bad guy out of
Bro, did you ever see the video when...
it's fucking dark out there, man. That's why we just gotta love each other and do the best we can. Have a nice creme brulee, hug a buddy, tickle your friend or whatever, tell him he's gay or something.
That's a good move. I just opened up my Instagram and he popped up immediately.
You're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
You were lying. What's he trying to sell you? Some bullshit?
It's something important. He accidentally said the quiet part out loud about the Epstein files.
They all are doing that, dude.
All right, let's see what he said. Here, I'll send it to you, Jamie.
They got me, these motherfuckers.
They got me.
How much longer does Israel let us stay alive, do you think? That's a big question.
Why would they...
What did you say? Is that AI?
What are you saying?
That's Sora?
What the fuck are you saying?
I didn't say anything.
What are you saying?
Huh? Someone Israel Adesanya.
Oh, well, he loves you. Don't worry about it.
Good call.
Fuck are you saying, son?
Yeah,
so
was it so
what
much
did he
fun?
say? What did he say about the Epstein files?
What did he say?
Let's hear what he said. It looks great.
Yeah, he's been drinking somebody's blood.
The last 4 years when President Biden was in office.
Well, that's the question every American is asking. Not every American, but so many Americans are asking. What the hell is he hiding?
Why would...
Well, where are they?
Okay, that was a useless clip.
This whole thing's all bullshit now. It's all BS.
Well, it's fun.
Do you think he's alive? Do you think Epstein's alive?
I do not think so.
You don't?
No, I think they killed him. If I had to guess. There's too much circumstantial evidence that leads me to believe that it was an assassination. You know, I know a lot of people think that he committed suicide. A lot of very smart people that I know think he committed suicide. I'm like, there's too many convenient things. The cut wires, the security cameras, rather, not working. They weren't cut, right? They just stopped. They didn't function. Security cameras didn't function. The fact that he had shared a cell with this giant fucking former cop who was a murderer who had killed multiple people. Just giant roided up cop. Like, this is a cellmate. Like, if you wanted to get somebody, hey, look, bro, extra Twinkies, take this guy out. Like, it wouldn't be hard. He's already killed a bunch of people. He was a drug dealer. Did you ever see the guy? Did you ever see the guy who was his cellmate?
No, but it's like
It's kind of hilarious.
It's like when you're a freshman in college and they just put you with somebody you know.
Bro, if you wanted to get someone killed, you have a high profile witness, okay? High profile witness in
Ray Lewis, 2-time world champion.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
High profile witness in the craziest sex trafficking conspiracy of all time, where a guy who may or may not have been an intelligence asset or an intelligence agent or whatever the fuck he was, for whatever country, this guy he's arrested for sex trafficking to elites, and then you put him in jail.
Oh my God.
With that guy.
I thought that was the guy that fought Mike Tyson. Remember that dude who read that poem?
Bro, you
Remember
put him
him?
in jail with that guy. All you have to do is get that guy cigarettes and steroids. You tell him, I got you Marlboro Reds
I got you
and Tren. I got you testosterone replacement for life, even though you're going to still be in jail.
I got you some Marlboro fucking
Four men.
Test 200s.
Dude, he was found guilty of killing 4 men, and they put him in a cell with Epstein. Look at the size of that fucking savage.
Big guy.
Giant fucking muscle-bound, steroided up dude, and they put him in a cell with Epstein, and Epstein got strangled.
Epstein might have
I'm
been.
not Sherlock Holmes, but I think there might be a connection there.
Epstein was probably trying to slurp him. I bet that dude was such a pervert, dude.
Well, if he didn't kill him, then somebody killed him.
I bet he was such a
I
pervert.
think somebody killed him. Retired Westchester cop charged with killing 4 in cocaine deal after bodies dug up on his property. Bro, he buried them in his backyard.
Yeah.
That's a crazy motherfucker.
Oh, that's a good gardener, dude. That guy's fucking composting. What are you even talking about?
It's true. It's a better way to deal with. They're already dead. What are you gonna do? Let them go to waste, or bring them back to Mother Earth?
Those are leftovers. That guy's Italian, dude. They love leftovers.
How deep do you think he dug it? I bet he was pretty lazy.
That guy's pretty jacked. I don't know.
I bet he got tired though. They don't have good cardio.
You're right.
It's a lot of cardio involved in digging.
2 feet.
How many bodies? 4 bodies, bro. 4 bodies is 4 6-foot graves. You think he did a mass grave? All on top of each other, or do you think he was respectful and made 4 individual holes?
I bet it was more like, you know when you open up a box of chocolates like that, kind of. I don't think it was like a tea or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like a...
Yeah.
Or a 4-pack of cannolis or whatever.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right? Take the lid off. You see feet.
Just a dusting of perfectionist sugar on them. Not
Cocaine
much.
deal went bad. Fuck. Roided up cop. But imagine...
That's horrible.
But imagine you are the most high-profile person being charged.
They put him in there on purpose with that guy.
100. How could they not?
They did.
How would you not, like, why? If you were worried about the guy, if you worried about the guy dying, why would you put him in the room and lock him in a bedroom, a tiny little bedroom, with a roided up murderer?
Yeah.
Just stop and think about that. You're in a room smaller than this fucking studio that you and I are in right now, with a roided up murderer. You're sleeping with that guy. And you wind up getting strangled. Oh, you hung yourself? Yeah.
How would you sleep? Say you have to go to jail, right?
I wouldn't sleep.
I know, but I'm just saying, Joe, if you had to go to jail, right? You're in jail for something that you've done or didn't do. Doesn't matter.
Right.
How do you sleep at night? And there's a big dude in there.
You sleep with your mouth open so he doesn't have to force it open.
Sleep like that. No, bro. That's crazy. But do you sleep with your butt against the wall or away from the
That's
wall?
a good question.
You sleep on your back or your...
Depends on what kind of pervert this dude is. He might be one of them dick sucker guys. He just wants to suck your dick while he jacks off.
Oof.
You know, then you'd want to sleep with your ass to him. Like, turn over so I can suck your dick. Like,
Yeah.
no, I'm trying to sleep.
Hey, I told you I'm trying to sleep.
Oh, bro, it's crazy. And then you find out that prisons are private too. What? Like, so people are, there's a business in having jails. And so then you find out that prison guard unions are also responsible for keeping marijuana illegal. They get involved in it too,
Yeah,
prison guard unions, because they want to keep the work coming.
But it just feels like at some point, how do you think it's always been this way through history, where people have felt like you just feel like such a peon of like some corrupt financial system? Do you think it's always been that way, or do you think this is like kind of like a highlight of it for America?
Well, it's worse than it's ever been before, for sure. And the United States is worse than every other country when it comes to incarcerations. But
of course,
the thing
it's
is,
a business. They want to keep it busy.
In the UK, they probably could use a few incarcerations. They're letting people loose that are doing horrible shit, and they're not enforcing crimes over there. That place is getting real squirrely. But you know, the United States, half the people are in there for nonviolent drug offenses. Half of them, right? I think that's the number. Put that into perplexity. What percentage of people in American prisons are there for nonviolent drug offenses?
Yeah.
I think it's like half. So it's basically, you know, it's a byproduct of prohibition that's led to millions of incarcerations where people are locked down for the rest of their fucking life.
I would hate that shit, dude.
Wants something and you don't think they should be able to have it, so you will arrest people selling to them and you will lock them. 43% of federal prisoners in the United States are serving time for drug offenses, which are predominantly nonviolent. Additionally, about 72% of federal prisoners are serving sentences for nonviolent crimes, including drug offenses with a significant portion related to drug possession and trafficking.
Ugh.
72%. 72.1% of inmates are incarcerated for nonviolent offenses. 55% in federal prisons serving time for drug offenses. So 43% of federal prisoners in the United States are serving time for drug offenses, but 55% are serving time for drug offenses in the summary of key data. So it must be like, this is what's happening when AI is drawing from multiple different sources. And I think they're giving you different numbers. So it's somewhere between 43 and 55%.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, like, I guess you don't know which ones are like weed, which ones are cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, that kind of stuff that's, you know.
Look at this type of offenses. The majority of drug-related incarcerations involve possession, which is classified as a non-violent offense. So, put this.
Hitster is the ultimate party game where players guess the release order of hit songs by listening to short clips. Check out Hitster. Get yours today on Amazon.
Classified as a non-violent offense. So, put this. Other than drug offenses and drug possession, what percentage of people are in jail for non-violent crimes? Put that in there.
Like discount drugs?
Yeah, other than drug offenses, what percentage of people are in jail for non-violent crimes?
I gotta get a family, I think.
Yeah, I think that would be good for you. Okay, let's see. Non-violent. What does it say? Okay. Other than drug offenses, about 25% of the daily jail population nationally is incarcerated for low-level non-violent offenses, including misdemeanors and public order offenses. 13% are there for property offenses, such as burglary, and around 11 for public order offenses, non-violent infractions such as weapons charges, probate. The problem with that is property offenses like burglary can lead to violence. Like that's next door to violence. It's not violent, but like those guys that got shot breaking into that guy's house. As soon as you're breaking into people's property, you're getting super close to violence.
Yeah. I think it's violent. I mean, it's like, if you're inflicting, like, fear on somebody, they're in their own home, fuck you, dude. That's pretty violent to me.
Yeah, it's not violent in that you're hurting a physical person, but you're breaking into their house, and anything goes once you break into someone's house. You know, everybody knows that. You break into someone's house, anything goes. Yeah. They don't know why you're there. They don't know that you're just a petty thief. They have no idea. They're going to fucking shoot you. We all know that.
The numbers are getting small left over. I Googled the other thing, the opposite. Or not Google, sorry, Perplexity, the opposite thing. How many are in for violent crimes?
Right.
62% in state prison, but only like 7 to 10% in federal.
Interesting.
Most federal inmates are serving sentences related to drug and public order defenses.
Oh my god, that's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
That is so nuts, man. It's like that...
But do you think it's weed? I mean, what do you think it is?
No, it's probably cocaine. Cocaine's the big one, right? Cocaine laced with fentanyl.
Yeah.
And then there's pills, and then there's meth. Meth is a big one, too. Those are the ones that everybody's really terrified of. No one's really... The marijuana thing is a disingenuous argument, because the marijuana thing is really, there's a bunch of special interests that want marijuana to stay illegal. The actual people that think that marijuana is dangerous are pretty small. And they're not totally wrong. This is a very important point. Marijuana is not completely safe.
Yeah.
Just like alcohol is not completely safe.
Yeah.
I think there are certain people that, for whatever reason, the way they're wired, marijuana can fuck with them, and badly. And there's some evidence that it could trigger psychosis. Just some sort of a psychotic break. There's real evidence of that.
Definitely, dude. That shit, some of that shit's bad off, dude. I've taken some shit. Dude,
powder or crack cocaine offenses, go back, account for more than 54% of drug offenders. So that's most of it. And then there's meth, 24%, and marijuana represents 12%. But I guarantee you that marijuana thing, that's dudes who are growing. You know, if you're growing and dealing, if they're hitting you up in federal prison. Heroin offenders account for 6%. That's weird. I would have thought it would have been higher. Just 6% for heroin. Because they're so chill, they never get in trouble. They never get caught.
But the family that did that, the opioid epidemic is still just out and about.
Sackler family's just out and about.
Sackler family's still out and about.
They might be responsible for 1 million people losing their lives.
And the ripple effect of that through families?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, suicides, drug addictions, families falling apart, lives destroyed.
Where do you think people find a sense of purpose these days, Joe? Because it certainly feels like the fabric of like some of America. It used to feel like that gave us a lot of purpose, right? And some of that feels like it's not there anymore. Do you feel like that's a true statement, or what do you think?
Well, I think this is also part of the problem with social media, is that we feel that way.
Okay.
And while we feel that way, that everything's falling apart, we still have our neighbors, we still have our friends, we still have the places we go.
Yeah.
We still have all the community that we always had. You know, we still have the mothership, we still go to nice restaurants, you still hang out with your friends and watch the game. You're still, like, alive on Earth. But you're so overwhelmed by this fucking constant onslaught of bad news.
That's a good point.
That you're freaking out always. But then you got ICE raids where they're taking people that are American citizens and they're scaring the shit out of everybody. And
dude, they made me the video thing. You see that thing where they put me on the video?
Oh, that was crazy. They didn't even ask you.
Oh, it was really scary for me.
You were just joking around because you were talking to a guy who's his friend. And this was quite a while ago, too, right? When was that video?
Yeah, I don't know. It could have been like a year and a half ago or something. I don't remember. But that was crazy.
But it was like, dude, it was a joke, right?
She's like a friend. I don't know if she said a friend of mine got deported. I can't remember what she said. But she's like, what? Do you have anything to say to him, right? And I was like, you know?
Yeah.
I'm clowning around. I have no idea if it's real or not. I have no idea.
You have no idea. It's literally someone just handed you a phone. And then Homeland Security, was that what it was?
Yeah, just put it up online, and it was
it
after the Charlie
Security?
Kirk thing. Yeah, and so then I was like super scared. You remember?
Yeah.
Remember, I was texting I was just texting people to make sure everybody's okay. I didn't know if they were like just gonna kill people that had been on TikTok or whatever. I had no idea what they were gonna do.
I just can't believe they did that with you, where they just put it in there as if like you were endorsing that.
Well, it just kind of, and it was just a scary time. That was the same time as after the Charlie Kirk thing.
That? Who greenlit that?
Probably just some fucking trap beat,
but you know
con artist or whatever.
Like if a company did that, you could sue them. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was privatized, like if ICE was a private company, and that was the people that the United States hired to get rid of illegal immigrants, and they used you would sue them. You could sue them.
Well, it was just scary.
But the government can just put that up there.
Hi there. Sorry to interrupt.
interruptions can be quite annoying. Like a stuffy nose.
Up there, and then what did you do? You had to formally request them taking it down?
Yeah, I had to hire an attorney to get him help to take it down.
How long did it take to take it down?
I think like 48 hours or something. But it had like 30 million views over a couple platforms.
And how many people even know it was taken down until they just heard you say it?
Of course not.
I knew because you told me, but I couldn't believe it. When you first asked me what I should do about this, I was like, it's probably nothing. And I was in the car, and I didn't watch it, and then I got to the club. Then I talked to you from the club, and you're like, you didn't see it? I was like, no. And then I saw it, I was like, oh my God, what the fuck are they doing? Like, it's like, that's not how you envisioned the government. The government made a hype video?
Yeah, they were making like deportation hype videos with trap beats and shit. And I was like, what are we doing? That's what I'm saying. Everything is turned into like the WWE. It's none of it's real.
It's 100% that Mike Judge movie. It's Idiocracy.
Oh, Idiocracy, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was scary, man. Because then I got because there was just like a lot of threats, and then things got like then it was just kind of that made me kind of paranoid. And then my mom was visiting, and we went to the doctor. I went to the doctor. I was just getting something looked at or something, you know. And I was in the doctor's office, and there was a nurse asking me questions or whatever, blah blah blah. And then she's like, I have something for you. I was like, huh? And she's like, I brought you something. Can I give it to you? And I was like, I'm at a doctor's office, like something she'd made, something, I don't know.
For you?
Yes.
Oh, she's a fan?
Something. And normally I think it might have been like, okay, let me, like, but I was just like, it was such a weird time. And my mom was visiting, and it was like, after the Charlie Kirk thing, it was just super scary. You just didn't know what was going on. Like, watching that guy get killed was crazy. Like, it was, and
you know what's crazy to me is the way people reacted.
Oh,
that scared me just as much as watching him get shot.
Well, yeah, and let me think about that in just a second. I'm just thinking through the end of this, if you don't mind, real quick. Sorry, I know you're not interrupting.
No, no worries.
So I'm in this doctor's office, and it was just weird, you know. Like, I'm at the doctor, it made me feel like nothing was safe. Like it compounded on my head, like, oh, nothing's safe, right? No place is safe where, like, because I'd just given this girl like medical information. I'm like, is this okay, you know? And so I talked to the doctor, and it was all cool and stuff, and like, but then I go outside, and I was sitting in my car. My mom was out there with me, and like, it had just like been a lot of stress. And I'm sitting there, I kind of was like kind of tearing up talking to my mom, and just like, you know, I told her what happened in the doctor's office, you know, and it was after the DHS thing, just a lot of stuff that felt like you don't have any, there's no, you're solid, you're, no one, I can't think of what I'm saying. Like, you're not safe. Like, there's no...
Well, I think you think that way in particular because you're famous. So what you felt like you were having a normal professional experience at a doctor, and then all of a sudden it became a fan experience where you're kind of trapped.
Right, that's what I felt like. And it's a doctor where you're supposed to trust like you can be at a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there with my mom, and she kind of like put her hand on me, you know, and she's like, you know, everything will be okay. And then I look up out of the window, and there was some young man literally this far from my window with his phone like filming me, and it was just like that was like a tough time where I think everything, I just got kind of paranoid.
Yeah, that's a weird thing that people think is totally normal to do, just point a camera at people and film them because they're famous at a doctor's office.
Yeah,
but it's like,
I just want to put it up on my Instagram and I'm gonna get 300 likes. Look, here it is, me and Theo motherfucking Vaughn.
Yeah.
I'm outside, he's getting his pancreas looked at.
They can break your medical information.
It felt like it was a movie though, and they were trying to break you. Like, it felt like this, like a couple weird.
That's a personal thing, though. That's a personal thing with you because you're famous. That's one of the reasons why you think that everything's falling apart. Because you think everything's falling apart for you because you're dealing with the fact that you're crazy famous. Yeah, that's why you have this elevated sense of everything falling apart. Like, look at the example that you cited. A lady who loves you, who's a doctor, but she wants to give you something, and you thought, man, I thought it was just at a doctor. Now I'm trapped with some person because you feel like you're trapped a lot. Talking to crazy people or people that want something from you, people that are grabbing at you. That's what it is. Yeah. That's why you personally feel like everything's falling apart because you're having a hard time navigating your new situation. You know, and then also your new situation is very different than just you as a comedian, because this new situation is you voicing your opinions about things, and some things controversial and some things not so much. but then people enjoy it, and so it gets a lot of attention, and when it gets a lot of attention, you also get a lot of haters. You're going to get a lot of jealous people, you're going to get a lot of people that just disagree with your choices and guests, you got a lot of people that think that what you're doing is dangerous. There's a lot of like really idiotic opinions that people attach to you that don't make any sense, but they're still out there. And so you're dealing with that too, and that's a new thing that you're dealing with that you never dealt with before. And it's part of why you have this accelerated thought that everything is falling apart. I don't think it's falling apart as bad as everybody thinks, but I think it's something that it deserves consideration. Like, this all could fall apart, and it could fall apart in a lot of like very bad ways. And there's a lot of natural ways it could happen, like we talked about before, but it could also be self-inflicted. And at all costs, we have to avoid the self-inflicted thing.
Yeah.
And the only way to avoid it is to not be on a side. You can't be on that side or this side, but instead be on the side of the greater good of everybody. And that's possible too. But you have to force politicians to do that, you know.
But is that going to happen with politicians? You know, look at Eric Adams this morning. He just did, or whatever that thing was.
What did he do?
Praised, said he served Israel the best he could. It's like, I don't even know if he feels like America.
Probably wanted a check.
He probably did.
Got a nice check.
I flew over to get that bag.
Yeah, flew over, got the bag, driving a new Cadillac now. Bro, they just pay people. The crazy thing is that Israel pays people for social media posts.
Do they really?
I read that. Let's put that into perplexity. Is that true? That might be another Russian hoax. I was reading that there's countries, and I don't think it's just Israel, by the way. There's countries that will pay influencers to post positive things about them.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, even Qatar was like, they wanted me to come and experience their country, right? And I had a nice time while I was there. Like, I think it was really neat. But we didn't really talk about, like, you know, the different, like, if they have different points of view about things or what some of their, like, rules and things like that are, you know?
But did they want you to post nice things about them?
I think they wanted to experience...
These soul stories starts with
Nice things about them?
I think they wanted to experience... They wanted you to experience their country.
Yes.
Now, I'm assuming
Israel has paid social media influencers to post content promoting its image, particularly in the United States, with reports indicating payments of up to $7,000 per post. This campaign, known as the Esther Project, is managed by a firm called Bridges Partners LLC, which works on behalf of the Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The program is disclosed under the U.S. Foreign Agents Registration Act, meaning that these payments are legally reported and require influencers to disclose that their content is funded by a foreign government. That's crazy.
Well, I just don't see how we're supporting this country after the genocide. I just don't see how that's okay to people. And I think that's the part of me that I don't understand, right? About their leadership there and stuff. I just do not understand it. But then you start to think, well, am I crazy? Because it seems like it's just okay that the politicians all think that this is okay, and so few of them speak up about it.
Well, I think this is what's separating the old people from the young people in this country. Like, if you look at the numbers of how many people that are like 18 to 34 that support the war in Gaza, it's very low. It's very, very, very low. Because this is the first time you've ever been able to see what happens when a superpower is attacking a country that essentially doesn't have an army, and they're doing it for years, and they're just blowing buildings up. Like, we've never really seen that before. This is the first time in a time where everyone has cell phones, right? Obviously this has happened. You know, countries have bombed each other, Dresden, and there's been Hiroshima, of course, Nagasaki. They blew up entire cities, right? But we didn't get to watch it happen bit by bit. You didn't get to see drone footage that's in 4K, you know. You didn't get to see cell phone footage of missiles being fired into camps of people waiting in line for food. You didn't get to see any of that shit. And, you know, you're seeing wild shit, but then you're also seeing horrible things that Hamas is doing too. You're seeing people getting publicly executed in front of everybody, in front of cheering crowds. You're seeing people get dragged out, kicked to the ground, gunned in the head. You're seeing the horrors of war is what you're seeing on both sides. And we just have a hard time accepting that that's the only way to do things. And I think that the young people of this country, they don't want any part of anything like that anymore. Well, they have been told by their parents, they've been told by the people they grew up with that if the war is hell, there shouldn't be any war, and most of this shit happens because people are making money. And so most of it, they prolong it so they can make more money. They want weapons development, they want to launch new shit, they want to sell shit to people that need weapons. And most young people are aware of that now, where I think most people, my parents' age, all they had was the Vietnam War. They knew the Vietnam War was bad, but I don't think they really knew the extent of how much corruption is involved in everything that our government does. Everything has the hand of some corporation attached to it. Everything has the influence of some foreign government or some country that has massive resources. There's always, it's never clean. Nothing's clean.
Well, it just felt like me. I think a lot of times, well, for one, it feels like they're going to stop allowing TikTok. Like, people are going to own it. I think they're selling it or something, so they probably won't be able to show stuff like that anymore.
Well, they sold it to Larry Ellison's company, right? Isn't that who bought TikTok? Yeah, I want to be sure about this.
They still do that so they can limit its control what goes on it?
The real worry that they had before that sale was that China was in control of it. And I think they're right. And I think that if you have a foreign country, and that foreign country is using a very popular social media website to spread propaganda, spread things that absolutely aren't true, along with, I'm sure, some things that are true.
Yeah.
But they have their finger on which way the influence goes. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Now, I'm not saying that Larry Ellison's company is going to do a great job of being totally objective and letting people criticize Israel, letting people criticize Hamas. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. I'd be crazy to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I never met that guy. I don't know anything about that.
It'd be crazy for me to say any differently. But it's not safe to have a foreign country that is actively trying to fuck with the way people have discourse in America, which is certainly what China's doing.
So according to it hasn't yet changed place. The shutdown had something to do with this, and this article is from today, I think, where people in Congress still don't even know what's going on.
Right, so this says Congress is still waiting to get briefed on how TikTok's sale would actually stop Chinese algorithms from causing harm to U.S. citizens, U.S. military, and U.S. interests, she said. The lack of transparency has caused concern for both Democrats and Republicans, who are still waiting for secure briefings on how to stop malign actions.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, is like, that's a good point, because they do it on X. So Chinese bots, they swarm X, and there was a former FBI analyst, we read this article 100 times, his estimation, this was right around the time Elon was buying Twitter, that it could be as much as 80% bots.
Oh, so much is bots, it seems like. So much is bots.
But this is what this is. This is like China. This is Russia. This is foreign countries that they'll say things about U.S. aid. They'll say things about gay rights. They'll say things about LGBTQ, whatever issues. Whatever it is. The border. Whatever it is. U.S. aid. Whatever it is. And they just flood the discourse. They flood it. And so they have their finger, either way, on...
Hitster is the ultimate party game where players guess the release order of hit songs by listening to short clips. Check out Hitster. Get yours.
They flood it, and so they have their finger either way on how much negative shit you see about any kind of subject. And whoever's the best at it, whoever's the best at this kind of propaganda, this is like an incredible tool to use to demoralize another country, to have another country hating itself, hating its actions. And if you leave that in the hands of China and they own the company like TikTok, at least if someone in America owns it, and again, I don't know what they're going to do, but at least if they own it, you would say, okay, but at least they're not actively trying to fuck with us and make us battle back and forth. They're just allowing the algorithm to do its natural course.
Right, I guess if they're going to do that, we don't know.
Here's the thing, if you can't stop bots, then all of them are fucked, because they're just going to keep making new accounts. It's too easy. They sign up, fake emails, fake person, they're in. If you don't make people, and then, what are you going to do? You're going to require a digital ID? Fuck that. You should be able to be a whistleblower. If you're working for some company and you find out they're dumping nuclear waste into the ocean and it's killing all the fish, someone should be able to anonymously report that. And you should be able to do that through social media without having a digital ID that shows exactly who you are.
And they can shut you down. It's just like, I don't know.
It's sketchy times.
Well, it's sketchy times. I mean, the same company, that company Palantir, that was doing all that crazy stuff in Gaza, in Gaza, and they were like, you know, running
what were they doing?
All the drones and stuff like this, allegedly.
What are you talking about? What are you saying they did?
That they had, were compiling data on people that were there, and they were operating a lot of the drones in the sky that also had weapons attached to them.
Okay, so you mean like facial recognition data?
Right.
Do they have that capability with drones? Where they could just zoom around? Is this horseshit? It's real? Jamie's not even willing to talk on camera. He's just he's giving
I'll
me
be quiet then.
I'm sure they do.
We have
No.
They got a big contract in America now, which is scary to me. That's what's scary to me. That a drone could go by. That maybe that's what happened to Charlie Kirk. Who knows? Maybe a drone. You just have no who you can even point the finger at. A bullet comes out of the middle of nowhere.
True.
That's a kind of. I'm not saying I'm paranoid about it all the time.
That.
I'm just saying I have.
Listen.
Okay. So
you're right. However, China's making drones. And they're making really good ones. Way more sophisticated than our drones. If you don't have drone development and some kind of drone defense system in America, if you say, oh, no one should have that kind of power, you're right, no one should have that kind of power. However, China already does. So if you just have no innovation, and you have no way to implement any kind of defense system with drones in America, but it's already in China and it's already in Russia, you're kind of in trouble.
Okay, so you have to have something in that space. You got to be moving forward into you got to have the weapons out there.
It's like the nuclear bomb. If they're already doing it, you better fucking get it.
Right.
You better get it.
I think, to me it's just scary that the company that was allegedly doing that there is the company that we hired to, I believe, create a database and have some of the same opportunities here. Or they could potentially be able to do the same thing here. To me, it just kind of tracks where it's like...
Yeah, well, any one private company that has a database and all the information on every person and where you are and what you're doing, yeah, that's sketchy. What are you woofing? What's going on?
Looking at the story, the reporting on this.
It's that absolute power corrupts absolutely thing. You know, this is like absolute power.
One AI system is called the Gospel. Another one's called Where's Daddy?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They're used to identify people.
One of them is called Lavender. That sounds lovely. AI-enabled data processing system developed and used by the Israeli occupation forces in their, it says, genocidal campaign against Gaza have caught widespread attention, prompting journalists to call Gaza the site of the first AI-powered genocide. AI technology was reportedly first used in Gaza during Israel's 11-day assault in 2021. During the ongoing genocide, for the first time, it's being used to kill Palestinians at an unprecedented level and at much faster rates. These three known systems identify targets for airstrikes based on Israeli mass surveillance records of the Palestinians in Gaza that have been collected for years by the IOF under the racist framework of monitoring what they deem as threats to the Israeli regime. This is from Palestine-studies.org. So
who knows also how...
Yeah, it's obviously...
going to be favored towards them.
Yeah. I absolutely believe they have that kind of technology where they can recognize your face from the
scariest part to me, Jim, will you bring it back up for one more second? The scariest part to me was just the quickness they could do it, and then the review, right? Like a few Israeli intelligence agents shared with Plus 972 magazine that they personally only take 20 seconds to review and approve the airstrike recommendation.
Using the time only to confirm if the target is a male. Whoa. It's unclear if this is actual policy. Right. What is that? So this is...
There was this one photo. Should we put it up? Yeah, it's me in a sunflower field, and I'm holding
a sunflower. That's how I knew she was the one.
It's unclear if this is actual policy. Right. What is that? So this is...
But yeah, this started making me feel...
So they shared this in a magazine. They said this in an interview in a magazine, that it only takes 20 seconds to review, and the time is only to confirm if the target's a male. It's unclear if this is actual policy. In August, however, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights released a statement revealing that the majority of those killed in Gaza are women and children. So here's the other thing. Obviously, horrible things have happened there, right? But if you're getting your information from the people where the horrible things are happening, it's hard to know if they're being accurate. You know, I don't know if it is truly that they're mostly killing women or children, or if a good percentage of them have. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
that's what Israel says, right? They say that a lot of them were Hamas.
Like 2-year-old Hamas agents they were finding shooting. Which, who knows? I don't know, you know, who knows?
Well, I bet they probably think about them as future.
There's
Especially
lots of
now when you've blown up their fucking city.
Oh.
You know? I mean, how many, if there were terrorists there, how many are created by watching something like that happen? Quite a bit.
Well, the thing for me, I just thought, like, that America would come help at some point. That was a scary, I think that's when I just thought, like, oh, I just have a different concept of what's going on. Or also, these are just my thoughts. I don't know what's going on. And I don't need anybody to believe my thoughts. I think the thing that made me nervous was that the company got a deal in America to create a database and help with, like, so that just makes me scared, you know? That made me a little bit nervous. Not scared, but just, like, a little bit like, what's going on here? Are we going to enter a surveillance state, you know?
Well, that's letting chaos take place. One of the arguments for letting criminals back out is that you make it so dangerous that in order to make restrictions on people, and that's the only way, and you show that it's effective, and then people comply, and it's really to tax you. Like, you know, like that Life 360 app where you can track all your friends, track all your family.
Yeah, see if your wife's running around and you whatever.
Yeah, and the government
Or just
can do
going
that
to
as
parties
well.
a lot.
The government can do that as well.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing that made that
Do you know how crazy that is? To allow the government to constantly know where you are and what you're doing, and constantly you'll be looking over your shoulder. So you're going to self-censor. You're going to be scared. You're going to be scared to talk because your phone's going to be listening. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, crazy. We were sitting, we mentioned Chuck Schumer, and then you opened your...
That's nuts.
I mean, that was...
Yeah, what's the possibility?
And that was momentarily later.
Yeah, momentarily later, the algorithm recognized that I was talking about Chuck Schumer. Let's see if it works. Big fat tits. I mean, big fat tits. Okay, big fat tits on your 45-year-old stepmom.
Ooh, I'm on top.
There we go.
Fucking...
See what it is. Imagine if it just goes to head kicked.
Would you buy a cat off of Facebook Market? Okay. Fuck that.
That was fun. Look,
I'm not buying a cat off.
right in my feet.
One of them, huh? Hey, how about this?
Text something random on an app.
Right away, it's the ladies with the large boobs.
I say, hey, let me see one of them and guess what the other one looks like. That's my old trick.
Ah, that's a good trick. And you're like, I don't know. I bet that other one's weird looking. That one's too perfect.
Yeah,
There's no way they both look the same.
Did I see this?
I'll show you, Phil.
I used to do this fun thing. I would have, if I sat next to someone in an airplane, I would have them draw a picture of their kids. Like if they had kids, I'd like draw a picture of your kids, and dude, it would be the most fucking ridiculous looking picture, but it would always be pretty fun, you know. Yeah, I think I was just concerned about like if that's the company that does it here, so that's like where my brain tracks, like are we none of that, and
No,
then
that should be scary.
that's why I think ICE that's why I think all the ICE stuff happened, because I think they have to get everybody on the books. This isn't about they have to do an inventory now of everyone because they're going to need. Otherwise, when it's a surveillance state, it's all going to know if you're not like documented or on the bill of sale or whatever. It's going to be, or you're not on the inventory list. If you're not inventoried in the country, then it will know on the bill of sale or whatever. It's going to be, or you're not on the inventory list. If you're not inventoried. On the bill of sale or whatever. The machine will know immediately, oh, this isn't, you're not even supposed to be here, right? So that's why I think that the ICE stuff is happening, because I think one of the reasons is they have to get everything inventoried.
I see what you're saying. I think the ICE stuff is happening, a lot of it is because of political power. It's congressional seats. Because the census just counts people. They don't count legal citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And when you let people come over here illegally, and then you give them food, and you give them Medicare, what is this? What happens is those people are going to vote for you if they can, and they're also going to count. They're going to stay. And so they count in your district as congressional seats. That's what's crazy. They only count the people. They don't count the citizens. So if you get as many people in as possible, you can take over congressional seats. And if you make it really easy for those people to get by, like they say, hey, California's the place to go. They don't give a fuck. You can be illegal there. Nobody cares. Which is the way it was basically until I started arresting people. It's always been like that. I mean, what percentage of people do you run into in LA that are illegals? A lot, and no one cares. It's always been like that, right?
I don't care, yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're getting arrested. But there is the argument that by having people that came over illegally, you change the congressional map. You do. You get more seats, and that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
It's all fun. It just feels like, I don't know. It feels like very I don't know. It feels like a lot of different things. But you're right. I think you just have to focus in on things that are important.
Well, it's your population, man. Make it so people can definitely come over. Make it so cut holes in the fence for them. They cut holes in the fence. Like some people have put up like these fucking heavy duty fences, and here,
put that titty bar right there. You put a titty bar right there, boy.
You should have a bottled water sales. Is the better move.
Water and tits. What about that?
Together?
Yeah,
I think generally people like alcohol with their tits.
I don't know. If you've been in the desert for a couple days.
That's true. It's a good point. Very good point.
Summer's wrapping up, and life is picking back up. Early mornings, long days, and a to-do list that doesn't quit. And neither should you. Who has time to slow down due to body pain? That's why there's Aleve, to keep you going. With just one pill, Aleve delivers longer-lasting body pain relief per dose compared to other leading OTC branded pain relievers. Aleve helps keep you moving from sunup to sundown. With up to 12 hours of pain relief. So you can keep moving and be ready for whatever.
Very good point. Where's my bookmarks here? I'll say this, Jeremy, because this is kind of crazy when you watch it. Like, what could you possibly be doing here other than purposely letting people into the country? I think there's a lot of that. And I think there's a lot of that because they want cheap labor, too. That was something that someone told me once, that they were stunned that a CEO said that they were against these border enforcements because they wanted cheap labor. So they said right out to them, look at this, Biden-Harris sent forklifts to open the border wall. So insane. Like, why would you do that? Wait a minute. You did what? You sent a forklift to open up the razor wire?
But do you think that they all know that the other parties just do, do you think that they all go behind closed doors and be like, okay, what are you guys going to do this month? And then we're going to do this. And it's all just this theatrics?
No, I don't think they coordinate like that. I think they hate each other. No. But this is nuts, man. This is genuinely nuts. And by the way, I feel for these people. I would do the same thing. I would 100% be in line. I see these people with their babies hoping for a chance at a better life in America. They're not the problem. The problem is cartel people and the whole congressional seats thing. That's the problem.
Well, these people have become pawns. They'll send information to the countries that they live in and get them to come. It's like,
listen, if the population, you're right. I just didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I don't even know probably what I was saying, but I don't know.
If the population,
we're better than this. That's what I'm saying. We're better than this.
You and I are.
Yes.
Yeah.
As people, we are better than this.
Yeah.
And we have all these elected officials and these people that we thought were like us.
Sociopaths.
When does that end?
That's a good question.
And can it end? Do you think there's a way to end it?
It's going to be hard. My suspicion is it ends when AI starts sorting government. We're probably going to use AI with government to prevent this kind of fuckery that we see on an everyday basis. AI will logically make decisions as to what makes sense and what doesn't make sense about our current legal structure. Some things that if people become politicians, the reason why they become politicians is they know they can inside trade with Nancy Pelosi and make hundreds of millions of dollars like she did. Like, that's crazy. That can't be that way anymore. And I think any intelligent, like artificial intelligence that's not attached to an ideology or a party is going to immediately look, if they both agree, if the America votes on it and say, we want AI to take a look at the government, and AI immediately goes, like, you can't do that, you can't do this, like, this is bad, this is evil, this is a lie, this is truth, and you're suppressing it, and then we probably don't have anything remotely like the government we have now. Yeah. Because I think that mind-reading software, it's already in beta, right? They're already able to communicate, going back and forth, asking each other questions. They are. They have headsets. You don't even have to get an implant. Is it Google that did that, Jamie? What was the company that did that, where they were asking each other questions and then answering them?
Not Google. I don't even think that's available yet, but...
No, but it's in beta. The point is, it's in beta. So they're doing this already, and as this stuff gets more potent, it's going to be just like we used to have little flip phones without a color screen, and now you have an iPhone. And it's going to be that. It's going to go from you used to be able to just ask each other questions to we can all read each other's minds. It's coming, man. And when that happens, Turtleface, that Mitch McConnell motherfucker, you can't operate anymore as a leader. You can't. No, you're seen now as what you are. You're an agent of money. You're a money agent, moving money and influence around. You're not doing it for the greater good of people by any stretch of the imagination. And also, how are you still working when you Windows 98 on us every now and then?
Yeah.
That guy just freezes up. You ever see him?
Yeah, because his
You ever see him lock up? Just lock up. How is that guy still able to make decisions on anything?
His receptors are down. You can see his receptors go down.
You think he's a robot?
You think he's not a robot? What do you think at this point? That guy? They can't even. They didn't even update his lips to fucking. Yes,
if there's
all
a robot,
these people are.
RFK Jr. Imagine we found out.
He is?
Imagine if Candace comes out and she does a deep dive and said there was no RFK Jr. Do you know that? All those photos are AI.
Yeah.
There's no evidence of him whatsoever until 2021.
And she's like, and what is this here? RFK Jr. has a camel toe? What is this here?
He was
what are we
born
looking
a woman.
He's the first. Dude, Candace is the best. Dude, I went to see, she has, her and her husband have 4 of the most beautiful kids in the world, and they're so funny, and you go over there, and they're just like dying laughing, and one of them looks just like her. It's so funny, dude.
Do you think she's right about that French president?
Oh, the winner.
For this project, I teamed up with Adobe, was tasked with taking an unfinished film. To make this happen, Adobe Firefly has a range of models to work with. I mean,
she's right about that French president?
Oh, the winner?
Yes, whether or not he is married to a man. She's all in on that, bro.
Oh, she's all in.
Well, they're suing her, aren't they?
I think they are. I don't know if they still are.
I think they're at least threatening a lawsuit. It's for like $50 million.
Winner? That would be if she ever writes a book, that's got to be it. But dude, it is kind of strange that the guy is dating his teacher, right?
Or when he was like 40 and the kid was 15, or she was 40, even if it was a she. Like, what? And again, this is France. They're very different over there.
Yeah.
Pedophilia is just like, oh, get your weed out of that child. What have you done? He's almost 15.
Bro, if she does, though, she better have a hog on her. And I
bet she doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if she has the body style to have a real fucking hog on her. And that, if they release, the last thing France needs is to release like a wiener that looks like it's retreating, kind of. It will just go down in this. They need to release a fucking hog.
Did you see that information that
I don't think they have it on.
Might have had a micropenis? They got genes from Hitler's blood, and it seems to indicate that he had a genetic disorder that would lead you to have a micropenis, which totally makes sense, right?
I'm not surprised these days.
About Hitler? Why would you be surprised? Hitler would be the guy I would think would have a micropenis. The guy who wants to kill everybody and take over the world?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little tiny dick.
Make it bigger!
And he's fucking doing coke and heroin and all. He was doing oxycodone, man. And he had his whole army on meth.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
With a little dick, just just running everything. Like an iron fist. The making of a tyrant, how Hitler's deformed genitals shaped his personality. Whoa.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If you had a little dick, you would always check and make sure you'd be like, fuck, it's still little. That's what would happen all the time. Or every day you'd woke up, you'd be like, it'd be like the Masked Singer. You'd like open your pants and hope it was something different.
He knows. I think he knows. This dick is little. He's like, now everyone gets punished. Fucking Poland. Polish guys are big old hogs. He's probably jealous.
Yeah, brother. I think I don't know. In the future, I don't even know if they got little dicks in the future.
I think that's what aliens are. That's us, generalists.
You know how they got the DNA?
How?
From the blood-soaked couch he apparently blew his brains out on, it says.
Yo, they saved that?
Yeah, it says the first guy that found it took a piece of the couch, saved it, and they studied that.
Wow.
Which some people think that didn't happen.
Yeah, some people think he got moved to Argentina, right?
Yeah, this also says there's only a 1 in 10 chance he had a micropenis.
Oh, that's a lot of chances. I don't like those odds. I ain't playing Russian roulette with a revolver with 10 rounds in it. Fuck that. Alright, I gotta pee, so we gotta wrap this up.
Dude, I have to pee so bad,
Thank
dude.
you. I'm glad we waited. I love you.
You are?
You're the best.
I love you too, man. Thanks for, thanks for everything. Thanks for
It
this.
was fun hanging with you, as always. Goodbye, everybody.